Good evening, my friend, and welcome to the Lanier Speedway. We are here today for the XCAL Racing 275-lap race here from Lanier in Braselton, Georgia. My name is PDJ Zeller. Joining me alongside in the booth will be Paul Coleman Jr. As always, you're tuned in to Telesign TV and the phenomenal Tanner Kalin working behind the cameras. We are getting ready for what should be an exciting race here from Lanier. Looks like we're having about 38 cars taking the green flag on a race with about a $40 purse, Paul. Let me welcome you into the booth, Paul, and this one should be a good one. We have a lot of heavy hitters in this race tonight. A lot of guys showed a lot of speed in those heat races. I really think that this one is up for grabs more so than any race in the last few weeks for XCAL. The biggest storyline, though, Paul, Luke Turpin, probably the most dominant driver since XCAL's return, chose to park himself for a week after the incidents last week, so the number one contender is not here this week.
Absolutely, and it's kind of like when Kyle Busch misses a truck race, right? Everybody feels like they have a chance. Same thing here tonight. You got Luke Turpin, who's easily the most dominant guy, you're right, ever, and just totally wide open. Looking at just some of the names here, you know, we even got new guys that showed up thinking they have an opportunity, like Danny Ware, brand new to XCAL, and some of the other big hitters that you'll touch on later, kind of thing. I think it's anybody's game. I can't even pick a winner right now.
It would be tough. We talked in our pre-race meetings. I think it was before you got there even. I picked my pre-race winner as Noah Carpenter, just because he looked so good in the heat races, and the kid was running good. But it's a crapshoot. You know, it's completely up for grabs. I'm not sure who it's going to be. You mentioned Danny Ware, though. That guy's been fast all weekend. In practice, he's been about a tenth faster than everyone else in the field so far. Danny Ware, I'd keep an eye on that 100 car. I think he's going to have a say in who wins this race before it's all said and done. But, Paul, the big thing here, in my opinion, is going to be pit strategy. It's such a long pit road. It takes so long. If green flag pit stops ever occur, that could be just devastating to these guys. But that's going to be the big key to this race, I think, is pit strategy.
Absolutely, and knowing when to not take tires, I think, is even more important than knowing when to take tires. A lot of these guys will still kind of new, kind of feeling their way out around XCAL, feeling their way around street stocks and whatnot, and not really knowing that tires really aren't as premium as track position is.
Absolutely. That's 100% how I won the race last week at Southern National Park. I didn't take tires hardly at all that race, and a lot of guys did, and I found myself a lap in front of the field, and it's just that simple sometimes. All right, I'm going to take you down through the grid, starting on pole position. That is position number one, is my pre-race pick to win the race, Noah Carpenter in the 42 car. On his outside is the 53 of Tyler Batchelder. In third is the number 12 of Kenny Tripp. In fourth is the 04 of Tyler Jalbert. In fifth is the 99 of Tyler McRae. Sixth is the 27 of Brandon Varney. Seventh is the 60 of Sean English. Eighth is the 33 of Aiden McConaughey. Ninth is the number 77 of Octavio Rondoletto. And rounding out the top 10 is the number 32 of Jeremy Leto. And 11th is the 85 of Aquinas LaBeouf. 12th is the number 114 of James Seawright. 13th is the 66 of John Kraft. 14th is the 00 of Ron Walters. 15th Patrick Sullivan. 16th Kyle Strychar. 17th Heather Patrick. 18th Pedro Jose Luis Bywans. And 19th Danny Ware. 20th Ryan Soper. 21st Derek Colson. 22nd Travis Sukup. 23rd John Schwartz. 24th Arthur Hendren. 25th Stephen Rex. 26th Bruce Helmuth. 27th Jeff Edgar. 28th Michael Christian. 29th the sole female in the field tonight, Lindsay Lyles. 30th Paleo Sanz Catala. 31st Brad Gologli. 32nd Jose Godino. 33rd Joshua Borje Bonkowski. 34th Johnny D. 35th Andrew Ford. 36th Justin Novaria. And rounding out the field, riding shotgun on the field, will be the number 24 of Greg Holes. He's starting in the back due to his incidents with Luke Turpin last week. Here we go through turns 3 and 4 for the last time. The field is at the mercy of Noah Carpenter. That iRacing Ford Mustang makes the hard left-hand turn. Green flag in the air. We're down and away, and Carpenter with a nice jump there on the get-go. He gets going right away, and Carpenter is going to take the top spot. Race control is going to have to maybe look at that restart a little bit. I think I saw a 60-car jump a bit there as we all get things.
That definitely looked a little fast.
It certainly did, Paul. But up front, here we go. Kenny Tripp all over the bumper of the 42. The 60 car has actually disappeared, and he has not been scored for that lap, Paul. So an early internet issue, I guess karma kind of got.
I was just going to say karma's working its way out there. Yeah, absolutely.
So tough break there for Sean English, but I mean, it is what it is. Up front, we still have Carpenter followed closely behind by Tripp. Best battle on the racetrack right now is we have Brandon Varney racing with his teammate Tyler Batchelder. Right behind them, Octavio Rondoletto drops to the inside. Rondoletto trying to take that 6th position away from Batchelder. Octavia runs around the low side. And Paul, one of the things I love about XCAL is, especially now more so than in the past, back in 2014, I feel like XCAL was mostly just a bunch of, as we have a car around, that's Michael Christian on the inside. No caution will be thrown as he's out of the way and going to get that machine back going. But what I wanted to say, Paul, is back in 2014, I feel like a majority of the driver base was either just really old white men or really like teenage kids that just had like not a lot of maturity. But with XCAL these days, we have a lot of diversity. We have guys from 4 different continents in this race tonight. We've had as much as 5 in a race before, and it's just cool to see the wide range of drivers we have and the maturity these drivers have shown, in my opinion, compared to 2014.
Absolutely, the growth of the series is absolutely amazing, and it looks like the 21's still down on the inside there. But yeah, it was kind of me, Hefner, and a couple other old guys kind of leading that end of things, and then it was remember you, PD, and a kind of other high school people. We got 2 cars around now. We got the 4 and the 21 around. You might want to call that. Also, Danny Ware's up 6 spots by the way since the start of the race. That's going to be my official pick for tonight, Danny Ware.
He's going to be moving forward, and that sucks right now for those 2 guys on the inside. They just have nowhere to get out of there. If I was them, I think I'd reverse a little bit down the front stretch and pull a loop. Caution's going to fly. Did you see another accident, Paul, or do you think it was just for those 2 cars?
That could be. I mean, those guys were either going to be there for the rest of the night or until the next yellow came. There was just this track is just so small that there's no way to pull back. And to take a tow, unfortunately, would also end their night too, because they'd be 4 or 5 laps down taking a tow.
Well, actually, believe it or not, Christian's actually down 6 laps. He sat down there for 6 laps. Make it 7 now, waiting for the leaders to go around him. Globally went down 3. And Paul, that's an issue with this track, is whenever you spin out, they don't throw the caution for that. Getting that car turned back around, there's cars all around the racetrack with 38 of them on the track. There's not a whole lot of room to get that thing back going.
Absolutely, you're out of the racing line, so there's no reason to throw the yellow there. I mean, they were on the inside, and it's just pray for yellow. Also, looks like Derek Olson's got some issues. He's in the pits as well, down 7 laps. He made an unscheduled pit stop.
Yeah, that car's still sitting there. Not sure what happened. I'm looking at it right now, and it does look like he has some rear end damage. So Coulson might have been collected in a wreck. And Paul, this really just hasn't been Derek's week. He was complaining in the heat races. He got wrecked in pretty much every single heat race. And now in the feature, he finds himself with damage 6 laps down on pit road. I think the Coulson team's just going to try to forget Lanier exists come next week.
Absolutely.
Looking up front, though, Carpenter still leads. You were talking there a little bit about the 100 car making his way through the field of Danny Ware. You're right, he's up to 14th after starting 19th then. That's a car to keep an eye on, Paul. I think tonight you're going to see that 100 car making a lot of moves. He has had the fastest car in just about every practice session. He's looked good in just about every race he's ran. If that car can stay clean, keep an eye on that 100 car. I really think you'll see big things out of him tonight.
Absolutely. Now, it's easy to move up through the the teens and whatnot, but once you get to these heavy hitters in the top 10, it's going to be difficult to pass. He's been fast, but he's been fast on his own. We haven't seen him have to necessarily race anybody. So, and being new to XCAL, that's kind of an unknown quantity. So we'll see how he is around the faster guys. Don't crown him yet as champion.
Oh no, he still has a long way to go, obviously. But having a fast car is only part of it in XCAL. 1 car already out of the race. Sean English has decided to park it after his early issues. 1 car on pit road having a hard time getting it to turn over. The 47 of Justin Novaria, his crew is just not getting that car to start right now. I think they're just forcing gas into the carburetor right now, trying to get it to turn over, Paul, but they just can't get that car out there.
Yeah, it might be one of those things that they might want to just kind of pack her up and look forward to the West Coast next weekend.
Maybe, but for him, this is the first time he qualified for a race. I was telling you, he's tried for 4 weeks and he finally made one, so whenever it's your first one, I'm sure he wants to get out there and at least turn a few laps with his new friends.
Good point.
All right, so here's your top 10 as they run. Noah Carpenter's your leader. 2nd, Kenny Tripp. 3rd, Tyler Jalbert. 4th, Tyler McRae. 5th is Brandon Varney. 6th will be Octavio Rondoletto. 7th, Tyler Batch-Elder. 8th, James Seawright. 9th, John Kraft. And 10th, Clinus LaBeouf, as they are going to go green this time around. That last caution was just a cautioner for those 2 cars stopped on the bottom of the racetrack, as far as I could tell. Here we come through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn. Green flag in the air. Carpenter hits the loud pedal immediately, and he has a challenger on the outside. Tripp predicted his start perfectly. Tripp races to the outside now. Let's see if he decides to duck down low. No, he will not. They race side by side for the top spot in the turns number 3 and 4, and now Tripp will slide in the line as his teammate Jalbert just lets him slip in. Tripp has had probably, I was keep talking about Danny Ware's had the fastest car all week, Paul. Kenny Tripp's probably been about the 2nd fastest car all week, and him knowing that Danny Ware still has a ways to go through the field, I bet you he wants to get around Carpenter and just try to check out a little bit.
Absolutely, especially if he can get a long green flag run here. Put some lap cars down too. Put as much space in between him and Ware as possible. Clean racetrack is definitely going to help him acquire some fast lap times.
Absolutely. Carpenter gets loose. That stacks the whole leaders up there. Jalbert's going to check up, let his teammate try to regain himself. But Tripp gets sideways now, and Jalbert tried to hit the brakes to let his teammate in line, but there was just no saving him there. One car that I'm looking at that's really moved through the field is Joshua Borje-Bonkowski. Started in 33rd, already up to 22nd, going the right way. A good run there for the Fox. Back up front, though, we have Tyler McRae going the wrong way. McRae got trapped on the outside line. Now Octavio Rondoletto dives to the inside. McRae's going to close the door pretty quick on him, though. Things kind of calming down here in the top 10. The best battle we have for position right now is for about the 10th spot between Tyler Batchelder and Aquinas LaBeouf. Don't look now, but there's Danny Ware up to 12th. That 100 car continues to march through the field.
He's about, I'm looking at the lap times here. He's running about a half a second faster than, or I'm not a half a second, but half a hundredths faster than everybody else there. So if he can get by this traffic here, he's definitely solidly going to keep moving on, marching on. Give him some time.
Yeah, what I like about him too right now is he's being patient. He's definitely faster than the two cars in front of him, but he's not forcing it right now. He knows there's still well over 200 laps to go. He just needs to keep that car in one piece. Up front, though, Noah Carpenter started to check out on the field a little bit. He actually has lapped the car of Greg Holes. That Carpenter machine, Paul, he has been pretty quick this weekend, too. And I know those four teammates, Jalbert, Tripp, Varney, and Batchelder, they've been quick themselves. But that 42, that kid has been looking good as he continues to check out on the field. I think that the 100 car has two real challengers tonight. If it comes down to speed, it would be the 42 and the 12, and maybe the 04 of Tyler Jalbert is an outside shot.
And Ware just got by the 85 car there, or the 85 car of Aquinas to get himself solidly in the top 10. He's running 9th. Going to hunt down the 66 of John Kraft. The second is his next victim.
All right, well, they continue to race on as up front it is Noah Carpenter, and it looks like there's some smoke in front of him I just saw. Not sure what that came from. We'll try to figure out what happened there. Actually, Kenny Tripp has started to close in on Carpenter now, so Tripp got the heat in the tires now, and he's trying to close the gap on our leader. Nice little green flag run here as I knock on wood to make sure we don't ruin that. About 20 laps here early in the race. And Paul, I know it sounds stupid saying 20 laps, but at a short track like this, early on in a race like this, 20-lap run's pretty decent.
20 laps is amazing, and this is the sweet spot right here. The tires have just got about worn. This is, I mean, the next 10 laps here, if you get this green, the whole 10 laps, man, it's going to be some exciting stuff. We got a two-wide battle between the Bachelor and the 65, and the 17 gets loose and spins, and unfortunately the 17 stuffs it lightly into the inside wall.
Luckily for Heather, she's going to get that car turned around. Here we go. The 17 car is going to get that car moving, and Heather gets that car back on the track. So no loss for there. She's going to lose one lap, but that could have been worse. She could have ended up in a Michael Christian situation as the 17 car gets it back going. Up front, we have the 42 car doing a fine job as the 12 of Kenny Tripp continues to reel him in. It's been fun so far. Looking through the pack, though, we have a good battle going on here as the 04 car. Oh, that's actually the lap car of Heather Patrick, excuse me. Best battle now is Danny Ware is actually...
the 99 just spins and hits the wall, and the inside is the 66. Might have touched...
Not sure what happened there, but the 99 car does get it rolling, and really, he's not any worse off. He only lost probably about like 3 seconds in that incident. He drops to 13th. It was really just like a 360, and then he got it back going again. That will move the Danny Ware machine now up to 8th as he runs right on the bumper of John Kraft in 7th. 100 car, we're noting his march through the field just because we know the speed that he has. Up front, here we go. Good 3-wide situation going on as Tyler Jalbert finds himself 3 wide with some lap cars here. The leaders are actually all bunched up on each other here, Paul, as Carpenter has a hard challenger from behind with Tripp, and his teammate Brandon Varney's also there with Jalbert close behind. So it looks like Carpenter might have that short run speed, but those 3 teammates have the long run speed. As here we go, the 12 goes to the inside. The 42 tries to throw the block. The 12 is just going to shove him up the racetrack, and Kenny Tripp is going to take the lead.
Absolutely, I see that. You know what, and especially with this long green flag run, tire management does come into play. I've seen a lot of guys, driving it hard into 1 and driving hard into 3 and smoking their tires. And if we do have a long green flag run, that is not a recipe for success.
No, Carpenter going the wrong way. He's going to fall back to the 4th spot now. And early in the race, I don't know why he was dooring Kenny Tripp there. You know, I'd like to see him race with a little more respect than that, knowing there's still 210 laps to go. I mean, you'll have your shots at him later on. You don't have to force it like that right there. But now Carpenter's moved back to 4th. Another guy getting up in this battle, James Seawright, started 12th. He is already up to the 5th spot, running right on the bumper of Carpenter. He was looking pretty quick in practice. Keep an eye on Seawright, maybe have an outside shot of this one. Update on the Danny Ware situation. He has found his way around John Kraft now, so he's moved up in the 7th, and he is setting his sights on Octavio. Still, we have 27 cars running on the lead lap here as we are 40 laps into this 275-lap affair. Wow, lots of good racing going on all around the speedway, Paul. It looks like the 114 now is going to dive to the inside of the 42. 42 of Carpenter is going to slam the door. That's the best battle right now, as now the 114 does have a nose in. The 114 goes to the inside. The 42 is going to have to give him the leeway. That 42 car, Paul, I think he really had a short run setup. He's dropping like a brick right now.
Absolutely, and you know what? That may come back to help him as long as he doesn't lose the lap. You know, later in this race, we do see a lot of yellows towards the end, so he may be a factor later on if we get a couple of short runs in the deal. But man, this lap traffic's insane.
The 35 Andrew Ford's around, and he is going to go right into the opening of the speedway. And oh, don't do that, Andrew. That's not a good move. What are you doing? Oh, caution is out. That was a terrible move there by Andrew Ford. That was just, with no regard for any other car on the racetrack, a selfish move.
Absolutely. Well, and rookie mistake, as you say there. We talked about it earlier, though, trying to get back, you know, in the fight. It's kind of hard to do, and he thought he had an opening, and it wasn't there.
That was just bad right there. I mean, I don't care. He literally ruined 2 other guys' races for absolutely no reason there. I have no respect for anything like that, and I saw him do something similar last week, and he might just need to get his stuff together before he comes back out here and races with us a few more times, because that was bad there. Stephen Rex ended up flipping. Pedro Luis Bywans ended up getting one free into the wall as the front end of that car got completely handled. The replay's up now as you're going to see Ford just spun out into the barrier there, and then he just decided to turn back in front of oncoming traffic. I mean, really no reason for that there. That is just a bad move. There's no other way to put that one. There's no way to be nice about that.
He did get clipped by the 04, which was quite unfortunate.
So caution will fly for the second time. You'll probably see some of the leaders coming down pit road there, as actually all the leaders look like they're coming down pit road. And
17 stayed out.
Heather's going to try to get her lap back. Probably a good move there on her part. Let's see who ends up getting out pit road first. This is where the race is going to be won tonight, Paul, in my opinion, is on pit road. I truly believe that.
Well, and here's the thing. This is still early in the race. Do you take tires? Do you not take tires? This is a big enough track where you probably won't lose a lap taking tires, but you'll lose a heck of a lot of track position. Checking to see here, I think the 28 drop in Barham's car, the 7 took some tires. We got the 37s taking tires. Quite a few towards the back there taking tires. I don't know, Petey, what do you think? Tires? Probably, if it was me, I wouldn't take tires right now.
I wouldn't take tires yet. I think I'd probably take tires once in this race. I think I would probably take tires with 100 to go. With about 100 to go, I'd get a fresh set of tires on, and maybe I'd do it with 150 to go, I'd take my left sides, and then with 100 to go, I'd take my right sides. But that would be probably about it. But that's just me personally. Everyone has different strategies, you know. And actually, because everyone decided to pit and a few cars stayed out, John Schwartz is actually going to have a lap on the field.
That's amazing. That is crazy.
I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything, but that's a car that I own. So maybe he's just taking my strategy, you know, put the field a lap down, get yourself in a good position here. He hasn't had the speed really to a win, but I like it. I like that early call, putting yourself a lap ahead of the field. That really opens the door for a lot of different things for you, especially if you get some top here.
I mean, look at all the primetime players that got pinned a lap down. If some of these guys get stuck a lap down, they may be there. You know, you only get one wave around per yellow, right? So some of these guys may be stuck there for quite a while if this race doesn't go green and he's able to hold them down.
We're actually going back to doing 3 wave rounds per yellow this week. Hillbush decided that it was time to go back to that, and I do agree. I like doing the wave rounds. So here are the cars in the lead lap. It's going to be John Schwartz in the lead, Puleo Sans Catala in second. Kenny Tripp will be in third, but he's going to be mired behind all the lap cars, so he will not be near the top 2. Jalbert will be back there with him in 4th. 5th is Heather Patrick. 6th is Danny Ware. And 7th is Noah Carpenter. And rounding out your lead lap cars is 8th place John Kraft. In 9th is James Seawright, and 10th is Octavio Rondoletto. As that pit cycle there really shaked up the whole field. It does look like James Seawright will be on the lead lap. So Seawright will be the last car on the lead lap in 9th.
So that puts our spotlight driver, I guess we could call him, Danny Ware, up to 6th, and he's kind of given him a free pass from a lot of his difficult competition there. Probably should make it an interesting fight with Kenny Tripp once he's able to pass some of this lap traffic and get up to Kenny Tripp.
Linus LaBeouf already with a lot of damage on the 85 car. He was collected in the Ford incident, so that was unfortunate for him, but I think he already had damage prior to that, so not sure what happened there. And I do want to apologize a little bit. I normally don't go off on a driver like I just went off on Andrew Ford, but when I see something like that, and I know the efforts that XCAL Racing goes to make sure that people aren't doing things like that, it's just kind of frustrating. Here we go. Green flag in the air, and Paleo Sands Catala takes the lead as he is going to lead the field on the outside. That was kind of a weird lineup there, Paul, to start that one.
Absolutely. No, yeah, you got lap cars, you got everything. It's all crazy.
It's mayhem here right now. Is the 84 of Soper is a lap down. He's 2 laps down, trying to fight to get 1 lap down back. Here we go. He's going to look to the inside of Tella. Second place is John Schwartz, and then third place, about a few seconds back, is going to be Kenny Tripp. And there's just cars all over the place right now, Paul. That's what I love about this track.
Oh, we got the 13, the Marlboro cars on its roof too.
Oh, the leader? That must have been the leader. Catala ended up on his roof. Let's see what happened there. I'm going to look back, and Catala just hit the wall coming off the corner and wrecked himself, Paul. So maybe a little bit of excitement there. Leading his first XCAL race, got a little too excited.
I can totally, I know exactly how he feels. Anytime I ever get close to the top 10, for some reason my car seems to do all sorts of crazy things that it doesn't do when it's running 30th.
Just pushing a little harder. Up front, we do have John Schwartz as the leader now after that. Managing to unlap themselves so far have been Brandon Varney, James Seawright, and Octavio Rondoletto. Expect that trend to continue as Tyler Batchelder runs behind Kenny Tripp. And do you think if Tripp takes the lead, he'll probably just let Batchelder get back on the lead lap?
Absolutely. Not team orders, but team love, right?
Have to be there. They're 3 wide in front of him. Soper goes to the outside of Seawright. Soper races on the high side. That's not for position. Taking the lead back is Kenny Tripp. He's gotten around the 1 car of John Schwartz, so he retakes the top spot. His teammate Batchelder rides behind him 1 lap down. I'll be curious to see if he does let him by, because he can really afford to, because his nearest threat is 3 seconds behind him, and it's his other teammate Tyler Jalbert. So
Jalbert's got some issues there. We got the 16 and the 7 collected, but Jalbert had some issues because Danny Ware was able to pass right by Jalbert as he got way too high.
I'm not seeing the 04 car on the racetrack right now either, so I'm not sure what happened there to him. As the 04 car I think he pulled off. Maybe, I'm not sure what happened there with him. We'll have to try to figure out what happened there. But the caution.
I think he pulled off the track there at the whatever you call that there to get to the garage area.
A replay is up. Not sure what happened there, Paul. Did you see the incident? I didn't see the actual incident.
I did not see it. It looked like he was slow. He pulled up, and then the 16 and the 7 got into each other. But that was after Jalbert had his issues.
Oh, so it looks like Jalbert's team, he had a leak in his tire, and he brought the car down pit road, Paul. Looks like that had a tire going down. And that's tough here at Lanier. He's probably going to find himself about 10, 20 laps down before that gets fixed. That's how quickly things happen here.
Absolutely. No, this is a very, very fast track. But I also want to point out, as I said, he's been our spotlight driver, and he's going to be there. Danny Ware up to 3rd place. He's heading into the pits right now. Definitely a great time to make a pit stop when there's only 7 cars on the lead lap. So all 7 of these guys are going to top off with fuel and be in a good spot.
And John Schwartz gets to come down pit road, Paul. And whenever you make that strategy to stay out, you pretty much are gambling there's going to be another quick yellow. And that worked perfectly into the favor of John Schwartz there. Is now a car that was running somewhere in the high teens, early 20s is going to find himself in the top 10 now just by a strategy call.
Absolutely. He's still, worst case scenario, what is he going to be 7th? So that's awesome. Whoever his crew chief is, give him a cookie, because that was a great call.
That was. So we are going to have a few more cars on the lead lap now as James Seawright, Tyler Batchelder, and Tyler McRae get wave arounds. I still never saw what happened with the accident, but I can tell you that Lindsey Lyles in the 19 car was black flagged, so it must have been Lyles. So that's the other car I own, Paul. So right now I'm really proud of the one for the strategy, and my other one unfortunately caused the last caution. So we're batting 500.
That looked like a racing deal. The 19 just kind of cut the 7 there. Got inside, wasn't clear, spun the 7 around. Racing deal. It's early, but you can bounce back from that, right? We got. I'm trying to see how many laps we got left, but we got a lot of laps left. I know.
We have about 210 left.
210.
And Lindsay doesn't really look like she has much damage, so I'm sure she'll be okay. She's a good driver. Brandon Varney, now he had an issue now with that car. I'm trying to figure out what happened. It looks like it was some sort of maybe a transmission problem. We're not sure what happened, but that car had to come down to the pits. So the teammates, Jalbert and Varney, both with difficulties here. You got to wonder if the Batchelder and Trip cars are going to hold up with the issues those guys had.
As I say, are they using the same parts? If so, you might want to look back to your parts supplier, because something ain't right.
Something ain't right at all as we try to get something lined up here. This will be your running order when we get things restarted. First place, Kenny Tripp. Second, Noah Carpenter. Third, John Kraft. Fourth, John Schwartz. Fifth, Octavio Rondoletto. Sixth, James Seawright. Seventh, Tyler Batchelder. Eighth, Tyler McRae. Ninth, Danny Ware. And 10th, scored right now, is Lindsay Lyles, but she has a black flag. There's only 9 cars in the lead lap. It's probably going to cycle out to be Jose Godino before it's all said and done. Black flag here, though, at Lanier. That's going to be pretty bad for Lyles, Paul. She's probably going to end up about 3 or 4 laps down at best.
Absolutely. But again, like you said, there's 210 laps. Long time to go. I mean, as a math teacher, I can only count to 100, but so, I mean, we got plenty of time left for her to be able to catch back up and get in the fight.
Dude, even being 4 laps down in this race, you might still have a shot. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Tripp gets a good jump there on Carpenter. Tripp jumps into the top spot. Carpenter's going to slide back to 3rd, maybe 4th. He's going to try to slide in behind John Kraft. That he will. Now he ducks to the inside. Rondoletto right behind him. Let's see if Rondoletto just lets him have it. He does. So second place now, John Kraft. A good run for that 66 car so far. And Paul, the 66 car, I got to say about that guy, he shows up every week. You never hear a peep out of him. He never causes a caution. You never have to say his name in the race. And he always ends up right around somewhere in the top 3.
He's a great guy and a great number. And unfortunately, I hate to see what number he's going to choose next year. But great driver.
He certainly is. I actually offered him a contract for my team, but he's not sure if he can run a full season, so he had to decline, unfortunately. But happy to see him on the track when he can make it. Good battle going on right now for the 3rd spot. To the inside, Rondoletto goes of John Kraft. Kraft continues to run the high side of the racetrack. Rondoletto runs the low side. Rondoletto now is going to take the position by about a bumper, and Rondoletto's just about clear as I see a cloud of smoke, but I didn't see a car, so not sure what happened there. As we currently run, there are a few cars out of the race.
We got the 07 spinning, or 37. Yeah, 37. Sorry, 37 spinning.
Arthur Hendren's around, but he gets it back going. Here's an update on the cars out of the running, though. Sean English is taking it behind the wall, as does Aiden McConaughey, Michael Christian, and Travis Suckup, Andrew Ford, and Pedro Luis Bywans hasn't officially retired from the race, as hasn't Stephen Rex. They're getting those cars worked on. Back up front, we're going to look and see what's happening up here with Kenny Tripp and company. Noah Carpenter has solidified himself into the 2nd spot as he sets his sights on the lead. Rondoletto in 3rd, Kraft in 4th, Schwartz in 5th. And keeping an eye on where that 100 car of Danny Ware is. That pit cycle actually kind of cycled him back near the back of the pack for the restart. He currently runs in 8th, about 8 seconds behind the leader. But like you said, Paul, he just needs to be biding his time, keeping that car on the lead lap, and come the last 100 laps, he can push it. Absolutely.
He's been 100% patient with that car. And, 8th place, he's on the lead lap. Anybody from 8th has a shot. Quick update there, Lindsay Lyles on her black flag situation there. She served her black flag. She got out, and she is 6 laps down now, running in 26th position right now.
All right, that sounds good. Just trying to see if I can find a good battle here on the racetrack as I look all around. We do have Bonkowski and Quinas kind of close to each other for the 11th spot. Bonkowski runs right in his tire tracks, and then shortly behind Bonkowski is Ron Walters, who runs in the 13th. A lot of good cars strapped a lap down right now. Impressive run so far for Joshua Borje Bonkowski, though, Paul. He started this race in the 33rd position. He had terrible luck in the heat races. He got wrecked in every single one, and he actually needed a provisional. But so far, knock on wood for him, not scratching that car, and he just drove that thing all the way up to 12th.
Absolutely. No, the Fox is fast. And talking about drivers who improved greatly that were young or kids, if you will, back in XCAL 2014, 2015 days, the Fox there was, 20th at best kind of thing, and he's turned himself into a top 10 driver. I've seen him in some official races, in some other leagues, and he's done quite a good job. So expect some good things out of the Fox here later on tonight.
keep an eye on him. He certainly has a good head on his shoulders, that's for sure. Up front, the battle for the lead actually is starting to heat up a little bit. Noah Carpenter is tracking down Kenny Tripp, and you expect he'll probably track him down for about the next 10 laps, but he has that really good short run setup like we talked about, as he's going to continue to try and work his way up to the top spot, although Tripp seems to be drawing about even with him right now, so this might be where the 42 starts to wear out a little bit. Looking at Octavio Rondoletto in third. I'm not too sure what he has. He was pretty quick in all the heat races so far. In the feature, he seems like he's just a tick behind the really fast guys. But as this race goes on, that 77 car looks like it's getting a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker by each run.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. You don't know if, is he holding something back? Is he sandbagging? Is he just biding his time? What kind of speed does he have for later, right? So we'll have to keep an eye on him and see. But right now, if it was me, I'm running comfortable third place in line, nobody around. I'm not going to show my hand.
No, really no reason to. Good battle going on for 12th right now as Ron Walters has caught Joshua Borje-Bonkowski. The 00 car runs right on his bumper. They're going to make way for the lead lap cars of Tyler Batchelder and Danny Ware.
Looks like the 85 has some mechanical issues too. Sorry, he's blowing smoke.
Oh, the 85 had a motor let go after he had early trouble in that one. The 85's going to have to bring it to the pits. He was running in 10th, so a tough break there for him, but he's going to have to bring it down pit road. Here we go. Good battle for the 7th position. Here we go. Danny Ware to the inside of Batchelder. Danny Ware draws even with him off the corner. Ware drives it off, and Danny Ware takes over the 7th spot, so he'll set his sights on James Seawright in 6th. Going back to that good battle, though, for the now 11th position, since Kleinest had issues, Bonkowski and Ron Walters are racing pretty close with each other. Lindsey Lyles 6 laps down behind them runs. Looking to see if anyone else is really close to them for position. It looks like not right now, as the 00 is going to give a little tap there to the 193. As Jeremy Leto actually just received a black flag, Paul. Did you see what maybe happened there? Not sure why he was black flagged.
Not. I was looking around. Maybe he might have been involved there with what caused the 85 to have engine damage.
Oh, I think it was for connection issues. I think it was he was blinking too much. He's going to be sent to the pit road. That car had some sort of oil leak, and they're going to bring it down pit road.
That could be why we didn't see him.
Yep. So that car is coming down to the pits for that oil leak, and we will remain under green, as the battle for the 11th position has calmed down a little bit as Lindsey Lyles has decided to pass both of these cars. Here we go. Ron Walters gets into the door of Bonkowski. This is all for the 11th position. Walters to the inside. Now he's going to take the 11th position for the time being. And Lyles, the real wild card here, she is not racing with anyone. Up front, we have a good battle going on for second. Now I'm going to update you on that. Octavio Rondoletto has caught the 42 of Noah Carpenter. He rides right on the bumper of him. Shortly behind them is John Kraft. The battle right now is for second. Rondoletto trying to find any way he can around the 42. And Paul, this is about the point in the run where the 42's car seems to go south.
Absolutely. Now we'll see now if that was just whether that's short or if they were able to make some adjustments on pit road. Can he keep it going? It's possible there that they might have figured something out and loosened or tightened him up there for a little bit longer run.
Yeah, and Derek Coulson actually got in the way of him there as the 42 had to drive right into the back bumper of the 5 car. That caused a little bit of a checkup there, but no harm, no foul. Coulson will get out of the way. Coulson just logging laps. Like I said, he's quite a few laps down. He had that early issue as he's going to get that car back out there. Looking around the track, we have Danny Wares now starting to reel in John Schwartz for the 6th position, as the battle for second has cooled down for a minute, as Octavio just seems to be biding his time right now. I think Octavio kind of understands that he's probably not going to track down Tripp. I don't think he's as quick as him right now, so he can really take his time with the 42, who has been racing aggressive in this race.
Absolutely, and just to give you an update there, the 13 there of we'll just call it a 13 Marlboro car. I'm horrible at pronunciations. Had a flat tire, so he's in the pits getting himself 4 new tires.
Also update, Jeremy Leto's team, they've actually put some of that real tough duct tape out, the Bear Bond. They put some of it on the oil pants. The oil leak's gone on the Jeremy Leto car, and he's back out there on the racetrack. You got to wonder if that's going to hold up, though. I'm sure officials will be looking at that car to make sure that holds up.
Absolutely, man. XCAL, though, you got to give a tip of the hat to the pit crew guys here. Really getting these cars. They take it beating, take it banging, but man, they get these cars patched up, and they're able to make it.
Oh man, Paul, I almost just made a "that's what she said" joke, but we are here live, and
we are a family broadcasting. We got a yellow flag too.
Yep, yellow flag saved me and Paul from getting canceled as we were going to look around and see what happened. I see the 5 car of Derek Colson backwards on the back straightaway. That's definitely what brought out the yellow. Let's see what happened here.
The 16 pulled in the pits too, so.
All right, so here's what happened. Or actually, I'm not sure what happened here. I'm still trying to find it, as I thought I had it, but I did not. All right, here we go. I found it. And what happened is the 5 car was racing side by side with the 66 Craft. Or actually, the Craft was trying to lap the 5, I should say. And it looks like maybe a little neck code there. Just a little bump between the 66 and the 5 sent the 5 car spinning around. Just a 1 car accident. The 5 car really didn't get much damage. And where he was sitting, though, right on the exit of turn 2 up against the wall, XCAL kind of had to throw the caution there.
Absolutely. And you know what? Derek's night continues to get worse. It's definitely Tums headache, Tums goodies, everything. He's going to need some of that stuff at the end of the night because his night just got longer.
And race control is going to penalize the 66 car there with a black flag. So just what I said, he never ever gets penalized for anything because he's such a clean driver. The 66 gets his first black flag I've seen him get. So the 66 car will have to serve that penalty as the leaders come down pit road. Actually, staying out is going to be Noah Carpenter. And also staying out, I'm trying to look and see if anyone else did. No, it looks like everyone else comes down pit road. So maybe Carpenter's thinking, I have the short run car that's pretty good. Maybe if I put the field a lap down, it'll be really good.
Absolutely, and just keep hoping for some yellows and whatnot. And by the way, Petey, announcer's curse. No more complimenting drivers.
Yeah, I guess we can. I feel bad for Kraft, too, because I know how frustrating it is when you get penalized for an accident that happened between you and a lap car. It's just kind of infuriating. It's like, man, I was just trying to lap that guy, and I'm going to get a black flag. But, yeah, it's one of those things where it is what it is.
Absolutely. I think we've all been in that situation, unfortunately, getting black flags when we try to race clean and we try to be good, and just for whatever reason, some grumbling comes out. And there we are, spending 5 laps in the pits.
James Seawright tried to beat the pace car to pit road. Looks like he barely did not. So Seawright is going to have to wait to get waved around as the cautions happen quick here. They're already having to delay it. Here's where we sit, though. Technically, there's 7 cars on the lead lap. The leaders Noah Carpenter, second's Kenny Tripp, third's Octavio Rondoletto, fourth Danny Ware, fifth John Schwartz, sixth Tyler McRae, seventh James Seawright, and those are the current lead lap cars. The issue with that, though, Paul, is the fact that Noah Carpenter has a 14-second lead on all of them, so he has pretty much a whole racetrack on everyone right now.
Absolutely. So, I mean, even the leaders are technically, the rest of the field there is kind of a lap down because he's got all the lap cars in between him and second place, so he's got a lot of breathing room.
Now, Paul, you're somewhat of a math teacher, am I right?
That is correct.
All right, so what's half of 275, so I know when to say it's halfway?
That is 137.5, but you can't really have a half a lap, so 138.
We'll call it 138 then. All right, so we're getting closer to halfway. We're on lap 109, about 28 laps away from halfway now as they cross the line for lap 110. Update, there are only 5 cars on the lead lap, so it's Carpenter, Kenny Tripp, who's 7 seconds behind, John Schwartz, Octavio Rondoletto, and Danny Ware are your 5 cars that currently run on the lead lap. As this time by, we will not be going green, still waiting on race control to work some things out. What has happened here, Paul, is since these varying strategies have happened and so many cautions with the guys pitting and not pitting, is actually a lot of the guys that were just trapped 1 lap down are now trapped 2 laps down. So we only have 4 cars that are just 1 lap down. 6th place Heather Patrick, 7th place James Seawright, 8th place Tyler Batchelder, 9th place Tyler McRae. There's only 5 cars in the lead lap and only 4 cars that are just 1 lap down. So, I mean, just staying on the lead lap right now is really becoming a crucial thing.
Absolutely. That's where, Danny Ware, like I said, not being too aggressive, but there he is again. Once again, the last car in the lead lap. Looks like we're going green.
Green flag's in the air. Carpenter got the jump. It doesn't really matter. None of the other cars contending are within 10 seconds of him right now. John Schwartz does run in second. He's quite a ways behind, though. He's about half a racetrack behind Carpenter. Carpenter shows the way around the track. Well, one thing that could happen here, Paul, is if we do see some sort of a green flag run, like maybe even a 30 or 40 lap run, Carpenter's going to have to make a green flag pit stop. And if everyone else doesn't have to, that would completely take Carpenter out of the running. So, in a way, a risky move.
Absolutely, it is a risky move, and but this is short track racing. We already got the 12 and the 07 touching each other there. They both saved it, but I'm not a gambling man, but I'd love to see a 40 lap run. But if I was out there in his shoes, I'd definitely be betting on the same thing to happen.
kind of the bet I made last week at Southern Nationals. I knew we weren't going to get a 40-lap run in, so I just kept staying out. But a battle for second heating up real good right now. Kenny trips all over John Schwartz. Tripp dives down to the low side. Schwartz on the high side. Tripp on the low side is going to take the position away as the 77 out of Rondoletto will look to the inside of the one car of Schwartz. Schwartz continues to run around that high side, just keeping that car clean. A good run so far for Schwartz. Only 4 incidents in this race as he is going to get past. Now here comes Danny Ware trying to take the 4th position away from John Schwartz. And now move Schwartz down to the last car on the lead lap. But you know what, Paul? I am very impressed with Schwartz. I'm not even keep saying it because I own the car. But just because he's not the fastest car out there tonight.
He's not.
He's probably a borderline top 20 car. But he just has the wherewithal to know to keep that car on the lead lap. And that has him in the top 5 right now. And if the race continues the way it is, he might get a top 5 out of a 20th place car.
Absolutely. And anybody right now, he's in the top 5. Anybody in the top 5 has got a chance to win. I just wanted to give a shout out too to somebody driving directly behind him. He's had a quiet race. We haven't mentioned his name once, but he's been clean there. Another old school XCAL guy, Kyle Streichars, go-kart racer from your neck of the woods up there, Petey. He's been clean, 2 laps down, so he's probably of the guys running probably the last place car that still has a chance, I think, to win this race there in 12th, 2 laps down.
Oh, and the bear bond came loose on Jeremy Lau's oil pan. He's been black flagged again by race control. The oil started dripping out from underneath that car again, so they might have to find some stickier bear bond or something there. As Leto.
I was going to say, these street stock crews, you know, most of these are volunteer crews, so, you know, they try their hardest, but, you know, this isn't, you know, professional NASCAR.
Nope. So Leto will come down pit road and try to get his issues addressed. It's a shame, too, he's been running a clean race, but it's just that whatever the issue is with the oil pan, it's just not gone in his favor so far. They should probably just put a whole new one in at this point, to be honest with you. Up front, it's still Carpenter. He's in his own zip code right now. 5 seconds ahead of Kenny Tripp. Tripp is having to deal with a lot of lap traffic. Giving shout-outs, Paul. I want to give a shout-out right now to our current 6th place runner, Heather Patrick, as Patrick running in 6th right now.
Are they like 3 laps down at one point? I swear they just came back out of nowhere.
Yeah, I keep calling him Heather, but his name's actually Sean. He just uses his wife's credit card and hasn't changed his name on iRacing yet. So Sean Patrick, I guess from this point on, we'll get rid of Heather and call him Sean now that he's having a good run. Sean running in 6th. He did go around, though, earlier and spun, but he recovered from that nicely. And he's showing speed this week. He's the type of guy, though, that just really hasn't been able to put a full run together. He's not used to these longer length races, but right now, very solid run up in 6th place. Good to see that. Also worth noting, too, Jeremy Leto's crew, they decided to just throw the towel in there. They're done trying to put the bear bond on. They pushed that car onto the hauler.
Get a head start on the way to the West Coast. But, man, I got to give a shout-out. How does a guy get his wife to pay for his iRacing? Oh, it's the 20 spins. We'll get more on the wife paying for iRacing later, but the 20 spins and gets slammed from behind, too.
That Jose Godino is running in 13th. Looks like he's recovered, so he's going to be still out there. He's racing 2 laps down from 13th. And what becomes an issue here, too, Paul, as I talk about these guys trapped a lap down, is that this is such a short track. If we see any sort of green flag run, they'll get lapped naturally by the leaders. And it's just kind of like one of those piling on things, you know? You end up a lap down from pits, then you get a green flag run, you go another lap down, then you get another pit stop, and you go another lap down, and you just end up 3 laps down like that.
Absolutely. No, it happens in a flash of an eye, and I've seen that. Like, we were just talking about the Fox, who was running competitively earlier. He's 3 laps down, and I don't even know how he ended up 3 laps down. It's just one of those, he wasn't in any incident or anything like that. It's a natural cause. Especially when you get guys like, and again, I think the Cream's risen to the top here with Carpenter, Tripp, and Ware as the top 3. These guys are running legitimately now a half a second faster than, you know, pretty much everybody else. So they'll put these lappers down another lap very quickly.
People have about 28 cars on the racetrack. We started 36, so it's been a little bit of a race of attrition, but really fairly clean. As Kenny Tripp is absolutely tracking down Noah Carpenter right now. He's only 2.5 seconds behind. Remember, when we restarted, he was 8 seconds behind. So he's running good. Danny Ware's up to 3rd. He has gotten around Octavio Rondoletto. He runs about 4 seconds behind the leader. I will say, though, that Ware machine is consistently running the second fastest times on the track. His Carpenter has to come down pit road under green, and unless a caution were to fly...
Oh, we got to go, maybe? The 24 is on its side.
24 is on its side. Waiting to see what happens here. Will race control throw the caution? Will the 24 reset? He's trying to get the flip back over, and he will reset, no caution, and the 42 car will have to come down pit road and that was going to be devastating for Carpenter. Now, his only saving grace is if we stay green for a while.
Absolutely. That's how quickly it comes, though, strategy-wise. He almost got the yellow he needed.
I think he's out of gas. I think he had to reset. He was completely out of gas. He just ran it too dry. And you can't do that, Lanier. You got to give yourself an extra lap because you have to make a lap in pit road just to get to your stall, especially him as the pole setter. And for Noah Carpenter, a night that was looking very promising for him is he's probably going to find himself somewhere around 20th when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. Just unfortunately, like I said, you know, you get a situation 2 laps earlier with the yellow, and he's a hero, and now he's going to be one of those guys racing with the Fox for 15th place, unfortunately.
But you know what this does? Caution is out.
Now we have our yellow.
That just has to sting so bad for Noah Carpenter right now, as he was having a fantastic run, but it's not saved by the bell. We have 3 dropping bombs cars wrecked in turn 2, I saw. Conglomerate with the 99, 37, and 07. I also saw the 28 near that somewhere, so it looks like a dropping bomb sandwich. We're going to wait to try to get the replay up on this.
Synchronized wrecking? Synchronized team wrecking? Is that the new...
I have a feeling that's probably what happened, as we're trying to get this replay up here right now. All right, the replay is now, we found it. Now what happened here is heading into turn 1, it looks like Kyle Stride, they were 3 wide, the 37, 07, and 99. The teammates were 3 wide, and it looks like the 07 came up a little bit, the 99 came down a little bit, and the 07 and 99 spun and got into the 37 of Hendren, their teammates. So I'm sure whoever pays for those cars right now is really angry.
Yeah, and I just gave the announcer's curse to Stride shirts, didn't I? Talking about how he is having a clean race. Yep. Okay.
Well, we are officially at the halfway point of this one. This has been a pretty quick race so far. We're only about 45 minutes into it, halfway. So the leaders are going to come down pit road. There's only 4 cars in the lead lap. And Paul, I was about to give a shout out there to Heather Patrick again, up to the top 5 because of the issues with the 42 car. A great night continues for Heather. I keep saying Heather, but it's Sean. I hope Sean continues to have a good run here as all the leaders come down pit road.
But I mean, if Sean does win the trophy, though, right? Because if it's what's his is hers and what's hers, then since it's her credit card, doesn't she still get the credit for the win and the winner's payout purse?
I'm not too sure. You know, I think that would be probably a dispute in the Patrick family.
We might, but that if when you do the interviews tonight, if he is in the top 3, we need to address that.
We do. I think maybe they just give the trophy to the dog at that point. You know.
Good point.
All right, well, the leaders are on pit road getting their cars serviced as they all will exit now. It's hard to call what's happening here because there's so many cars on the track, and it's kind of hard to see who's going to shake up where, so I just have to wait for the scoring to tell me as everyone comes around this time. Schwartz was last scored the leader. This time by, though, however, Octavio Rondoletto won the battle off pit road, so Rondoletto will be the leader. Second will be Kenny Tripp. Third will be Danny Ware. And 4th will be Tyler Batchelder, 5th James Seawright, and 6th, the last car on the lead lap, will be John Schwartz. 2 cars are just 1 lap down. That is going to be Tyler McRae and Jose Godino, although I believe Godino just got the wave around, so Godino will find himself back on the lead lap. A good run there for the 20 car too, you know. A few guys that we haven't seen have a ton of great runs so far in their XCAL careers, having pretty darn good runs tonight.
Absolutely. Sorry about that, I was just getting a drink of water there. Yeah, Godino, you really don't hear his name called a lot in any race, and being up there in the front, so that's got to be exciting for him back on the lead lap. And that's a good thing. You mentioned the new rule this week with the 3 waiver rounds. That's going to get some of these people that are trapped 2 laps, maybe 3 laps down, an opportunity here if we do have a few yellows to get back into the fight and have a chance.
Well, the snowball effect is taking place, Paul. Now something's happened here with Octavio. What's the deal with the 77? The 77's come back down pit road. I'm not sure what the deal was there. The 77 made another pit stop, though. We'll stay on the lead lap. Maybe topping off. That could be it. Maybe he has that fuel window extremely calculated.
Absolutely. Well, the last car on the lead lap, there's no reason 2 or 3. I mean, you saw that with Noah just a little bit ago. If he would have topped off, if Noah had that thing, those 2 laps would have been the difference between running out maybe and catching a yellow.
Well, here's the deal. 7 cars in the lead lap. Then there's 1 car just 1 lap down. That's Bruce Helmuth in 8th. And then there's just there's 2 cars just 1 lap down. That's Tyler McRae and Bruce Helmuth. Then there's just 1 car 2 laps down. That's Heather Patrick. And then everyone else is 3 laps down. Jeff Edgar running 11th. That's a good run for Jeff right now so far. Good to see a lot of guys who haven't typically had a ton of good runs this year kind of getting good runs in right now. Let me give a shout out to someone I love to give shout outs to. The 062 of Johnny B, man. That guy has it figured out, Paul. Last week in that Southern National race that saw a ton of wrecks and incidents all over the place and just all the drama, somehow Johnny B finished 10th with 0x. He was the only car in the field with less than 8x. So that tells you a little about him. Right now he's running 16th with 0x again. So
that sounds like a Paul Coleman style run there. 6 laps down and 0x. That's my kind of guy.
He hasn't figured out, Paul. He just knows that if he keeps the car clean with the way these races go, there's a good chance he'll be near the top 10 at the end.
Absolutely. He started 34th. He's 16th. I mean, he's definitely taken the Paul Coleman school there as we look like we're going back to green.
Yep, we are, and the restarts are so funky here because things are so messed up with all the different cars laps down and whatnot. It is Tripp in the lead, Batch Elder in second. Third is going to be Seawright. And actually, Danny Ware came down pit road to top it off again. So Danny Ware is still in the lead lap in seventh. And that Ware car, I just know eventually, Paul, we're going to see that car in the lead, and I'm just waiting for it.
Absolutely.
The 77 car of Octavio trying to make his way through the pack. Jose Godino running the top 5 right now. Let's give him a shout out while he's running up there. Great run for that team. I know I said it a few minutes ago, but really a stellar run for the 20 team as they run 5th as we are on lap 150 of 275. So, Paul, when do you think the metal indicator goes off in these guys' head? When do they start to go, all right, it's go time?
Lap 225. Give them 50 to go, and it's time to go. So I think you're going to start to see this action pick up, and a lot of them be aggressive. Lap 225.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I think for you and me, that's probably when we would go. I think some of these guys, they're probably going to start to go like with 100 to go. I've seen these races happen a lot lately, and I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen here.
No doubt. Some of the back. I'm talking about your Kenny Tripps and your Wares and stuff like that. I think they're going to still kind of be patient through. But yeah, the battle through 10th through 20th, that should be heating up right now.
It probably is. As we do have a great battle for second, Batch Elder goes to the outside of Seawright. Batch Elder on the outside is trying to make the pass. A conglomerate of lap cars in front of them keeps them clogged up. And now Seawright makes it 3 wide with Colson. Colson goes up the racetrack, gets into Batch Elder. Batch Elder gets moved way out of the groove. And now Colson's going to turn Seawright into the fence. And Seawright will save it. Maybe they're going to keep it going. They're going to keep it going. Yes, they will. No caution will fly. We have talked about it. It has just not been Derek Colson's night, Paul.
It has not. That's what his 5th, 6th accident there. Props to Batchelor to not only save that car in front of him, but also not to spin him as well. That was a very, very good piece of driving on his part.
Well, for those guys having the issues, Paul, John Schwartz now finds himself in second. And we keep talking about him. He's just keeping that car on the lead lap and keeping it away from other cars. And that strategy, as you can see, is good enough for second right now.
Absolutely. Hey, if Kenny trips over himself, no pun intended, then John Schwartz there, man, you could be heading yourself down a victory lane to interview yourself as winning car owner.
That would be cool, but Danny Ware is starting to catch the 1 car of John Schwartz, and I have a feeling that the 100 is probably going to make very quick work of the 1 car, as he is just dog tracking him down right now. We haven't seen Ware run any higher than 3rd in this race, so 2nd would be a new high for him. Let's see if he can get there as the 100 car starts to track down the 1 as they go through 3 and 4. The 100 runs right on the bumper of the 1 car. It's the best battle on the track right now. A pretty decent battle for 4th, too. Octavio and Batch Elder going at it, although it looks like Octavio's going to take that one. As here we go.
Ware's down to the inside there. I think the 1 car is better served there. Follow behind Ware, learn some things. I think that'll help him out a lot as we get the yellow flag out.
Possible fly. Let's kind of see what happened here as I look up. All right, so the 66 car, we have word that John Kraft was involved in that one.
Looks like the 25, the 13 also involved.
Yeah, we're just trying to pull up the replay here. It did start with the 66. I think I did see that out of the corner of my eye. As just a night for Kraft that looked promising. He was running up in the top 5 in the lead lap. Ever since he got that black flag, it has just gone south for him. As we get the replay up for you momentarily. Just an update. Kenny Tripp is the leader. Danny Ware's 2nd. And 3rd's John Schwartz. As that one, I think actually. All right, the replay is up, and here's what happened. That was John Kraft going into the corner. It looks like the 99 of Tyler McRae checked up a little bit. and that let the 66 had to check up, and the 24 just drove right into the 66's quarter panel. Getting collected in that also was the 25 of Bruce Helmoth, ended up flipping. Tyler Batchelder got a piece of it, and did the 25 of Helmoth end up on his tires by the end of that? I think he did, because I see that car in his pit stall. I'm not sure if he had to take a tow or not. No, he did not, so a decent run will still continue for him. But yeah, Paul, we're under caution again. All the leaders get a chance to top off as we have about 1:15 to go.
Absolutely, and just to close the book there on that, then as the 24 kind of tried to spin himself around, the 13 got collected with the 24 as he spun himself around, but it looked like the 53 got a significant amount of front end damage in that accident. So I know Batchelder has been running the lead lap all night here, so hopefully that doesn't hurt his chances.
No, here we go. The race off pit road. It looks like it's going to be won by Jose Gaudino. Jose Gaudino. Oh, he's actually a lap down, excuse me. I don't know how he ended up a lap down there. But that means that the race off pit road would be won by the 100 car. So for the first time in this race, Paul, we're going to get to see Danny Ware race from the lead, and this should finally give us a good idea of what him and Kenny Tripp really have for each other.
Well, yeah, that's right. This pit road confuses me sometimes. I thought your John Schwartz was going to beat him up, but that's right. I'm excited for Danny Ware. Let's see if he can smoke this field and pull out and show his hand right now.
We'll have to see. Oh man, Danny Ware runs up front, and second is going to be Octavio Rondoletto. Third is going to be, actually, it's showing Octavio in the lead. I was wrong. Octavio actually won the battle off pit road. My mistake. Like Paul said, things are kind of confusing here with the scoring. It does look like, though, we're finally going to have a normal restart with the leaders up front, which is something we haven't had in a long time.
Which I'm looking forward to. Absolutely.
Which Octavio actually just threw a wrench in that as he's going to come down pit road and top it off, so we're actually not going to have that.
Yeah, not a bad strategy on Octavio's part, but yeah, in a way, I kind of feel for this XCAL field. We talked about it earlier, that this was a wide open race with Luke Turpin not being in it, and all of a sudden it's, that's like Kyle Busch not showing up to a truck race, and all of a sudden you get, Chase Elliott or, another Cup guy bouncing in here with Danny Ware, class of the field, that's not giving these regulars that chance to shine for the one night. So we'll see if the regulars can...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Paul, but I actually have something I wanted to raise to you. You do have to wonder, though, if Ware has a good time, which I think has been a pretty good race so far, in my opinion, for Lanier. I think this has been about as good as a street stock race with 35 cars in the track that Lanier can go. And you have to wonder if Lanier's having fun racing with us tonight. He wants to come back next week. That guy's clearly quick. He might be someone that can give Luke Turpin a run for his money as we go green, and Ware is going to lead the field to the green flag as he takes the lead. But you have to wonder, Paul, that 100 car, that might give Luke Turpin some competition coming up here.
Absolutely. I look forward. I hope Danny Ware does. Even, win, lose, or draw with Danny Ware tonight, I think he's showing muscle moving up from 19th to 1st. Win or lose, he's shown that he belongs, and I'd love to see him try to light a candle. I think anybody that can, race Luke competitively, I'm all for having him.
All right, well, here's the running order. First is Ware, second Tripp, third Schwartz, fourth Seawright, fifth Gaudino, and sixth is Rondoletto, as those are your lead lap cars. And now Derek Colson makes a move to the inside of the 100 car, and Derek Colson's going to try to take to get a lap back, I guess, right now, as Kenny Tripp now catches those two cars, and Ware goes up the racetrack. It's weird, Danny Ware does not look that quick right now as Kenny Tripp dives to the inside. Tripp has led a lot of laps in this race. We keep talking about how Danny Ware has shown a lot of muscle in this race. He's had the fastest car. We can't really discredit Kenny Tripp, though. He's led a lot of this race. And as he dives to the low side of Ware, it's going to be Tripp with the stripe. Finally, the battle we've wanted all night, Paul. The 100 and the 12 getting to go at it with a little Derek Colson involved.
It's absolutely. And then we got the 66-2 hanging in there. But yeah, as we've documented all night long, Derek Colson seems to have that black cloud directly over his head, so maybe Danny Ware is kind of being I don't want to be too close to him because something might happen kind of gig, because it looks like everybody has gotten by Derek Colson now, so fight on.
And Colson actually hit the 100 in the right rear quarter panel. I think at this point in the race, Colson's just going for blood. I think Derek just has not been his night, and he's just going for what he can get. As now the 12 car is going to let the 66 go by. So finally, here we go, Paul. The 12 and 100 appear that they too should be able to duke it out here. This will give us a good idea of who's going to win this race, just because these two cars have certainly, in my opinion, been the class of the field so far. Carpenter definitely had something for the short run for these two cars, I think. But the 112 looked really solid in this one. Up front, Tripp shows the way. Ware runs right in his tire tracks. And just under 100 laps to go, Paul. I really don't expect Ware to force the issue here this much. I think he'll probably just ride in his tire tracks, make him remember that he's there, and wait a little while to make his move.
Yeah, he's going to keep within a car length or two there, just in case, a mistake happens, or, they're able to, because eventually if this goes green, they'll catch into some lap traffic. But as I said, until there's 50 to go, there's really no reason to, show any muscle or anything like that. He knows he's there, and he knows he's capable of passing him, and just stay behind and scare him.
We will have to see for sure. As looking around the track, seeing if I can find a good battle going on right now. Looks like Heather Patrick is running in 7th, Tyler McRae in 8th. They're both 1 lap down, the only 2 cars that are 1 lap down. They're running relatively close to each other, but really not all that close. Right now running in 5th, Jose Gaudino, though, he's been able to hang on to that 5th spot, Paul, and he's kind of the same thing as John Schwartz tonight. Just strategy has kept him in a good spot, and both those guys, Schwartz and Gaudino, turned in 20th place cars, and Gaudino in his case, maybe even like a 25th place car, in the possible top 5s. Just can't stress enough the strategies. The battle for the lead heats up. Here we go, Ware to the inside of Tripp, and he almost got him, but they both had to check up for the lap car of Johnny B, and that will keep the lead in the 12th hands.
Absolutely, that got a little too close for comfort there. Johnny B kind of dipped down there clean. He got out of the way, but again, being the short track, we call this kind of a bigger short track, but still 3 wide really doesn't work. And we definitely got to give a shout out to the 66 here, who seems to be holding, both these. We call these guys the 2 fastest cars in the race, but the 66 is pretty much holding them off and pulling similar lap time. So good job there for Mr. John Kraft.
There's potential for him to stay in front of them, because as it sits, he's only 2 laps down, but he's the 3rd car that's laps down. So if a caution were to fly right now, you get one of those laps back and be 1 lap down, which then if another caution flew back on the lead lap. So Kraft right here, he is really just fighting for his life, trying to keep these guys behind him, as he will have to give way now to Tripp. Tripp goes to the inside. Even at 3 laps, though, I'm sure we'll probably see 3 more cautions in this race. I wouldn't consider Kraft completely out for the count in this one yet.
Oh, absolutely not. But that was impressive that he was able to hold those guys off for at least 10 laps there. And if he caught a yellow, yeah, that would have put him right back in the fight.
Well, that would have. As now it's going to be the 2 leaders taking those spots once again. Update: we still have John Schwartz running by himself in 3rd, Seawright 4th, 5th is Octavio Rondoletto, as he's gotten around Jose Gaudino now. Up front, the leaders are starting to catch the lap car of Gaudino, actually. Gaudino in 6th, they're looking to put him 1 lap down, which is not what John Kraft wants to see, as Danny Ware catches right back up to Kenny Tripp. He's on his bumper now, as they're going to go around the lap car of Arthur Hendren. Looking, and Paul, looks like after 200 laps of sitting out in the pits, the number 47 team of Justin Novaria, they finally got that car to fire, Paul, and he's going to get to make his XCAL debut 190 laps down.
Hey, you know what? Every spot matters, though. If he stays out there, he'll be able to maybe get himself into 33rd or something like that. The battle is, you don't want to finish last in your very first race.
That's true, and after 190 laps, you have to wonder just how much gas did they really put into that carburetor.
Hopefully not a full tank.
Probably just about. That was a long time to be sitting there. As the 12 car and the 100 car continue to race around the speedway nose to tail right now. They are doing the dance up front. Kenny Tripp continues to show the way around the speedway, Ware right on his bumper. Just not a whole lot going on in terms of battles. We have Heather Patrick and Tyler McRae kind of close to each other, like I said. The leaders have actually caught those cars, as Kenny Tripp's right on the bumper of Jose Gaudino. He's trying to put him 1 lap down. He goes to the inside. Gaudino will give way, so Gaudino in 6th is now 1 lap down. Right in front of them is 7th and 8th of Heather Patrick and Tyler McRae. If Kenny gets around them, that would put both those cars 2 laps down. So really, you have the various cars all over the place right now. As here we go, Ware looks to the inside a little bit, and Paul, this is where it gets sketchy. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, the 19th round, yeah. As you mentioned, it gets sketchy there. Your other vehicle there, that's going to be expensive for you to fix that front end, but Lindsay spun her out.
Yes, it will. They go 3 wide in front of the leaders, and I'm sure Kenny Tripp right now, he was probably clenching his teeth as he touches doors with Tyler McRae now. McRae is really pinching him down there as the lap car of Linus Bluff returns to the racetrack. That crew actually had to put a whole new motor into that car. He's going to return to the racetrack about 150 laps down. Finally, they do get around the lap car of McRae as Ware now tries to get around McRae. Ware to the inside, as now Kenny Tripp dives underneath Heather Patrick, and that was a thick mess of lap cars, but it looks like they're finally going to find their way through it, as Tripp will still be the leader as they get through it, and Ware gets through it clean as well. As these two guys, I'll be honest, I feel like Ware is holding back a little bit.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was just about to make that observation that the 12 looks like he's riding his tires just a little harder. You see some smoke come out of the front there. He's driving a lot more aggressively than the 100 is. And if we do go green for a while, then I think the 12's going to be a sitting duck.
He will, although green flag pit stops probably would be coming up in not probably like another 20 or 30 laps, and that probably would be the last pit stop of the race for these guys. So that's going to be absolutely huge if we end up having a green flag pit stop.
But you definitely don't want to even think about taking tires under green, and the 12's being really, really hard on his right front.
No, maybe just right sides. You might have enough time for right sides if you want them. That might be absolutely it. As they continue to race up front, worth noting, 5 cars in the lead lap. The leaders are starting to catch 5th and 4th place. As we have a wreck on the front stretch, the double O's went around. I think that's probably not going to be a caution, though. Ron Walters was running in 11th. He gets the car back going. No caution will fly as the leaders make their way safely around him. Ware continues to run right on the bumper of Kenny Tripp. Ware.
That was a little too close.
Yeah, he had a moment there with Bruce Helmoth, but he's going to keep that car facing the right way. Ware doing a good job right now, keeping that car mean, clean, and green, running in the tire tracks at Tripp. As Tripp, like you said, kind of wearing those tires out, as we have 70 laps to go. This race has really went by in the blink of an eye, Paul.
Octavio, by the way, just got around John Schwartz there for 3rd. But yeah, this race is just flying, absolutely flying by. For a 275 lap affair, it's don't blink, you'll miss it.
Sure. Go ahead, Paul.
I was just saying, that's what long green flags can do here. Is we're running lap times, 15 seconds, so that's 4 laps a minute. Doing the math there, that's what, 40 laps in 10 minutes.
Well, here we go. The leaders go around the lap car of Lindsey Lyles now. Lyles running an 18th, 7 laps down as they make their way around here. There's so many cars on so many different laps right now. It's kind of funny to look at. There's only one car that's just 1 lap down. That's Jose Gaudino. As he's, like we've commented many times, having a good 6th place run. But even these guys that are multiple laps down, as we see some green flag pit stops start to begin as Kyle Streichars from 15th comes down pit road. These pit strategies are really going to shake things up a good bit because sometimes on pit road you see wacky things happening. You never know. Like, we could end up with James Seawright somehow 10 seconds ahead of everyone, even though he's 12 seconds back right now.
Absolutely. That's the thing is, this isn't like Cup teams either, that if they do change tires, everybody's within, a second of each other changing tires. There's definitely some differential in pit crews that you can have 5, 6, 7 second differential on a tire change. So that'll definitely flip-flop some things depending on how the crews do.
Well, up front, the leaders continue to run nose to tail. We have a little bit of a battle heating up on the racetrack. John Schwartz is starting to get caught by James Seawright. That would be the battle for 5th place, as they both are in danger of getting lapped right now as the leaders run right behind them. So maybe the 114 wants to get going. And I think I saw the 1 car stick his hand out the window. I think the 1 car of Schwartz is coming down pit road this time by. So the first of our leaders that's going to come into the pits will be John Schwartz as he dives that car down in there. I'm also looks like none of the other lead lap cars have decided to come down yet. Maybe John Schwartz trying to do a little bit of a short pitch strategy here and maybe try to get an advantage on these guys.
Let's see here as he makes his way down, around. Man, that's so slow when you see him going down pit road compared to the rest of the guys. Pulls in a stop. Let's see if he takes any tires.
Caution is out. No, man, that is a shame there. He does the smart thing and turns everything off real quick. He's going to get that car back out there. And actually, that is probably going to save him. He's probably only going to go 2 laps down, I think. So, not ideal, but he's still going to be running at about 6th. And Paul, that's how quickly it happens, though. You have the perfect strategy all night, and then just one little thing takes you out of it.
Absolutely, yep. Just pitted the wrong time. Had he stayed out 2 more laps, he'd be pitting under yellow and still be in the top 5.
Well, here's where it does go well for him. He's only 2 laps down, and he is one of the first 3 cars a lap down. So he's only going to end up 1 lap down. So really not that bad. And Lindsey Lyles has been disqualified for causing that caution. So Lindsey Lyles caused her 2nd caution of the night, and she has been parked.
You going to have to pay a fine for that?
I'm probably going to have to hear about it from her and Hillbush and Tanner, and I'm sure everyone will let me hear about it somehow. But that caution is the replay. I'm not sure if the replay is up yet or not, but I'm just going to quickly go over it. Lindsey just kind of drove into the quarter panel of the 53 of Tyler Batchelder, who's running at 14th, and caused a pile up there. that was certainly on Lindsay. And maybe this week I might have to have a team meeting and just tell her to cool her jets a little bit.
There you go. She's still fairly new to the XCAL series, or what's?
She's run a few races with us. She's run I think this is probably about her 4th or 5th race. So
still getting the feel of it. I'm proud of you for being an owner. By the way, your other car there, John Swartz, did come back down pit road to finish his business, so he wasn't able to get everything done. So that's going to unfortunately not allow him to get all his laps back, but because he will no longer be in the top 3 of cars lap down.
That's unfortunate. Still a good top 10 run going for him today, though, and I really don't even know if speed-wise he had a top 10 car today. So really no harm, no foul there as the leaders make their ways off pit road, and it does look like it's going to be Kenny Tripp is going to be the first one off. Danny Ware will be in second. And this might be the last pit stop. Paul, I'm not 100% sure what the fuel window is here. I'm trying to think, but I think that they might barely be within it if maybe they get a caution or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, I only literally ran 4 laps of practice with these guys last night, so your guess is as good as mine from that one.
All right, so just an update. The last time that this happened was the last time that Danny Ware pitted was 58 laps ago, and this time by there's going to be 57 to go. So I think they're good. I think they're in their window, Paul.
That's going to be tight. Let's hope for no green, white checkers.
So now with the restart with about 50 to go, it has to be absolutely go time now, right? Do you think we see Ware just not wait on Tripp and try to get around him here?
This is exactly what I was saying. This is where the gas gets pushed, and you may see just a little, just because of where we're at, you may see just a little bit of fuel saving early, just to, like I said, give that buffer if there's a green, white checker. But other than that, they're on it. There's 3 cars on the lead lap. Kenny Tripp is going to see a huge big wear in his rearview mirror.
He certainly will. There's only going to be 3 cars on the lead lap when we get this thing back going, Paul. It's going to be Kenny Tripp, Danny Ware, and Octavio Rondoletto. James Seawright in 4th, 1 lap down. Jose Gaudino now in 5th due to John Schwartz's issues, 1 lap down. Schwartz is the only car 2 laps down in 6th. And you have Heather Patrick 3 laps down in 7th. John Kraft 3 laps down in 8th. Ryan Soper 4 laps down in 9th. Tyler McRae 4 laps down in 10th. I don't think I've said Ryan Soper's name once tonight. Looking at his car, he only has 2X, and that car looks pretty clean. So, pretty good night for Soper.
Good night for Soper. Fan favorite there. Moved up. Qualified 20th? So he's doubled up that improvement. But yeah, like I said, watch Danny Ware. I think he's got a 5-second advantage over 3rd place, so he can sit there and save a little bit and force Kenny to use some gas and put himself in a position where Kenny may run out of fuel and Danny could get her in. It's kind of weird they're going green with leaders halfway through the field there. But you got...
Oh, Steve, sorry, I apologize. I've been pressing the wrong push-to-talk button.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, Kenny took the lead there, got around, but yeah, they got lots of lap traffic.
Oh, the double O goes around. The double O Ron Walters has gone around. But yeah, tough issue there on the restart is a 3-wide situation for the 100 car. The 100 car needs to be careful here behind 13 and 20. These are 2 cars that have, or 13 I should say, is a car that's had his trouble this race. The 100 car, I think, just trying to bide his time as they make their way through this lap traffic. Kenny Tripp is about through it, and 100 of Ware is getting really caught up right now in it. I believe that is a battle for position in front of him. It is between Gologly and Palaio, so they are certainly racing for their spot. Now here we go. It's going to be the 100 to the inside of Brad Gologly. He's going to take that spot away from him, or I should say he's putting him a lap down, as now he'll try to find his way around Palaio. He's going to get Palaio a bump. Palaio gets loose. Will Palaio hang on? Palaio saves it.
What a save.
Nice save there, and that would have been a shame if Danny Ware ended up with a black flag for that. That would have kind of just killed this race, honestly. So, no harm, no foul there. Danny Ware gets through the lap traffic, but now he finds himself a 2.5 seconds behind Kenny Tripp. And I think this is where we really find out what that 100 car is made out of, Paul.
Absolutely, and I think, first of all, Danny Ware owes Palaio a steak dinner or something like that, because that was one heck of a save, and he could have easily not have saved it. Ruined his night, as you said, so... We'll see. Danny Ware's got some clean track ahead of him, though. We'll see if he's got tires under him and things. I think, what is it, a second and a half? I think he'll do it. I think he'll catch up.
Well, kind of overdriving the car right now, which is something I haven't seen him do all night, though. He's driving it real loose. Looks like he's driving a little bit harder in the corners than he's been. He's still catching Kenny Tripp a little bit, though. And I think that's part of its go time. You know, he's been driving that car easy all night. I think this is the part of the race where he's like, all right, where's that 10th I've been saving?
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Prior to the last lap, he was running about a tenth of a second the last 2 laps. Kenny Tripp ran about the 10th quicker there. So, I mean, these guys are neck and neck, though, when it comes to speed-wise. I think he just needs to gather it up. That maybe spooked him a little bit there, running the 13. Who knows? He might have a little tire rub too. Kind of hard to see from this angle, but we'll see if he's able to bounce back from that. We
will. As right now, him and Tripp, like you said, are running about the same exact speeds. The only other car on the lead lap, Octavio Rondoletto, is really a non-factor right now. He's about 7 seconds behind. 40 laps to go this time by at the flag stand. And one thing that will be interesting, Paul, is if we get another caution, I doubt we see the leaders come down pit road, which means we'll finally get to see like a normal restart with the top 3 running in the top 3 spots.
Absolutely, that's one of Rondoletto's 2 hopes, right? He's got to either hope that Ware catches up to Tripp, and these 2 guys kind of do what happened to Luke Turpin, the other guy last week, where they get into each other and he's able to drive through, or gets himself in a third inning race, because maybe we don't know what Rondoletto has. He's never really been in a position where he can force the issue, so he could have something for these guys.
All right, well, it's continuing to be Kenny Tripp out front, although that time by, Danny Ware just ran a .497, which is one of the fastest laps that have been ran in this race. Caution will fly, caution is out, and that will change everything, as they like to say, as we have the 25 of Bruce Helmouth around in turn number 3.
Unfortunately, on the, who is that? That is the 85 of Clinus LaBouffe spun him around there. I was watching Rondoletto, and they were side by side.
Oh my! They actually, the replay is up, and they're actually getting the medical team out there as Bruce Helmouth actually hit the opening to the track exit door first. Hope that driver's okay. That was pretty a scary looking accident there, as he did get the car rolling again somehow. He's a tough son of a gun there, but a scary accident. Glad to see he is okay, as we have a caution with just about 35 laps to go. And now here's the question. Here the leaders come this time by the pit entrance. Do they stay out or do they come down? Kenny Tripp's going to stay. Kenny Tripp's going to come down.
Goes in.
And Danny Ware stays out. What will Octavio do? He's the real wild card here. Octavio comes in, so Danny Ware's going to stand alone and stay out. I kind of like the call.
I like the call for Danny to stay out. Octavio had nothing to lose there, being in third, the last car on the lead lap. That's a free pit stop for him. Kind of interested about Kenny Tripp, though, giving up the track position.
And just when Ware, just like I said right before that, ran one of the fastest laps of the race, his tires are just in their sweet spot. So, bold call there by Kenny Tripp, but you got to believe he's dominated this race for a good portion. It's really hard to question what he does.
Absolutely, no. The crew chief's been making the right calls all day wrong. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Looks like they just tapped off on fuel, so he's, maybe they're getting different fuel mileage too than the Danny Ware machine. So that's they want to guarantee themselves again. There's only 3 cars on the lead lap. Worst case scenario, by filling up with gas. What is he? Worst case third if he ended up running out with 2 or 3 laps to go. He loses the top 5.
Well, here we go. When things shake up, there's still only going to be 3 cars in the lead lap. Danny Ware in first. Second's going to be Kenny Tripp. And third, Octavio Rondoletto. Fourth, 1 lap down is James Seawright. Fifth, 1 lap down is Jose Gaudino. Then sixth, 2 laps down is John Schwartz. Seventh, 3 laps down is Heather Patrick. Eighth, 3 laps down is John Kraft. Ninth, 4 laps down is Ryan Soper. And 10th, 5 laps down is Tyler Batchelder. As being a lap down in this race is really no shame. One thing that's worth noting here, too, though, is Kenny Tripp will get to come up and join the leader. We're finally going to get to see a side-by-side restart with the 2 leaders, Paul, which we have been waiting for all night. It's finally happening.
Christmas has come early. We've
poor Octavio. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Paul.
You're fine.
Poor Octavio's mired back now, about 10 seconds behind them. So this really is mano-a-mano, heavyweight versus heavyweight here for the win in this one.
Absolutely no. This is what the crowd's paid money to see. And again, like I said, if you're Octavio, really, your only strategy right now is drive, make sure you don't wreck, and hope that these two guys take each other out for the win. Otherwise, third place is third place. It's kind of nice to be in a situation where you're almost guaranteed a podium, as long as you don't hit anything.
Guy Racing Ford Mustang makes that hard left-hand turn. Green flag in the air, and Danny Ware gets the jump. Now we're going to see the 12 car of Kenny Tripp dive to the inside. He rides right behind the 100. Crossover move, Tripp to the inside. Tripp time to take the advantage away from the 100. Here they come through 3 and 4. The 12 car drives down low. The 100 with a drive off the corner. As they go side by side into turn number 1, we are in the closing laps of this one. This is for the big bucks. The 12 to the inside continues with the new tires on the low side. Kind of surprised with how quick he is right out of the gate with them new tires. The 100 on the high side does his best job of keeping the car up there. The 100 continues to mount the high side. The 12 down low. The 12 car looks like he might finally get it in this corner, but Danny Ware says no siree, not yet. Ware with a good run off the corner. These two continue to race side by side. Next time by the flag stand, it'll be 25 laps to go as Ware gets the run off the corner. Ware inches ahead. Here they come down into turn number 3. Who gets the run off of 4? It's going to be Danny Ware. It's about a dead heat at the stripe. It couldn't be much closer than that. That time by the stripe, it was a tie, Paul.
It was 0.00 seconds. Amazing. This is wow. Keep calling it.
This is what we've been waiting for all night here, Paul, as these two guys continue to battle side by side. Tripp on the inside, Ware on the high side. Neither of these guys can get an edge. It's like Frazier versus Ali here, the two heavyweights trading blows, fighting for the big bucks here at Lanier. And now Tripp gets a little tight in the corner. That gives Ware a good run off. Ware takes the lead at the stripe. Ware led it that time by a pretty big gap compared to the last time, 39 one-thousandths of a second, as Tripp on the low side just cannot clear that 100 car. Oh, and finally it looks like the 12 might clear him, and every time he's about to, the 100 just gets a big run off the corner. As they come up on the lap car, Strychars could be a big factor in this. Which way does he go? Does he block Tripp? Does he block Ware? He's going to block Tripp. He goes to the low side. Now Ware gets the run off the corner. Tripp has nowhere to go. Strychars is in the way. They're both going to go to the high side of Strychars. They are 3 wide. They touch doors. And now Strychars is going to give way, and that kind of screwed Danny Ware as he got in that real high line, couldn't get around, and he is now just going to slide into line as Carpenter has caught those two. You would just kind of hope, though, that Carpenter would let these two race it out.
Absolutely, with Carpenter 6 laps down, but it's unfortunate, too, for Carpenter having his mistakes early, because there he is showing his short run speed. We thought he'd be a factor early if this had a 20-30 lap run, and there he is, but 6 laps down.
I'll be honest with you, Paul. That 12 car might be a little bit quicker right now. Kenny Tripp, we might have doubted him too much tonight. That 12 car might have been the car to beat tonight. He looks pretty quick, but I won't count Ware out yet with 20 to go, because it seems like in the middle of the run is when Ware is at his best. And I think if this goes green to the end with about 10 to go, you're going to see that 100 car really start to track down Kenny again.
Absolutely. I think Ware being on the outside there, he used a little bit of his tires, heating him up a little bit. He's got to cool him off, kind of just riding his coattails for about 10 laps or so, and trying to make another move, or maybe wait to catch up to some lap traffic there and see if he can use those as picks, as I can see them coming up on some of the drop and box cars here shortly.
Don't forget that Kenny Tripp does have fresher tires than Danny Ware, so as his tires end up better, the 100's tires end up worse. This really could play a factor in this one. The 12 continues to show the way around the racetrack. He has about a 0.3 of a second lead over that 100 car of Danny Ware. Ware is kind of just biding his time right now, waiting for the 12 to make some sort of mistake. This time by the flag stand, it's going to be 15 laps to go, as we have waited all night to watch this battle unfold, and it has been worth the price of admission. 15 to go that time by, and Ware and Tripp that time by. It was Ware a little bit quicker. Here they come up in the lap car of Johnny B. Johnny B is going to give way. He gets out of the way for both the leaders, the respectful thing to do at this point in the race. They both get good runs off the corner. That time by the stripe, it was once again Danny Ware just a few 1,000ths quicker than Kenny Tripp. He's starting to track him down, Paul, as we get closer to 10 to go. That 100 car knows he has one last-ditch effort.
Absolutely. No, he's there. Like I said, he cooled down his tires a little bit. He's going to be right there. It's going to come down to how each of these guys navigates lap traffic. So we got the Hardy's car slow on the inside. Looks like he's blown his motor. And we got a couple other guys that are going to have to navigate around.
They come up on the 37 of Arthur Hendren. That time by the stripe, it was Kenny Tripp a little bit quicker than Danny Ware, but it's by thousandths of a second. I mean, these two cars are about dead even as they make their way under Arthur Hendren. Hendren's going to give way to the leaders now as Tripp finds his way around, and now Ware will find his way around as well. As Tripp continues to show the fast way around the racetrack, they're going to really start to get some heavy lap traffic here. And Paul, this time by the flag stand, 10 fingers are shown. 10 more laps to go from Lanier. Lap traffic really could end up being the difference in this race. Who does it help? Who does it hurt?
Definitely, I think it's going to hurt Kenny Tripp here because he's going to be the first ones to come up on him. Once drivers give way, then it's going to be easy for Ware to come through. But it's being that first car in line to catch up on traffic there is going to really, really slow him down. So Ware's got to be there to be able to take advantage of that.
All right, well, Kenny Tripp now catches the 25 of Bruce Helmoth, as the Ware car has been the faster car on the track the last few laps, but can he get close enough to make a move? That time by, and they are going to have to go to the high side of Helmoth. That really kind of messed up Tripp. Tripp goes around the high side of Helmoth. Helmoth's going to give way, but now he's going to kind of make a tough case here for the 100. Here we go, right in front of Tripp. There's two cars racing side by side. No, Helmoth just really screwed up the 100 there as the 100 makes his way down. Two lap cars racing side by side. Tripp tries to make it three wide. He gets loose, and that is going to let Ware get right back into it. He goes underneath Derek Colson. The Tripp car is all sorts of messed up right now. The 100 drives it in deep, and the 100 gets off the corner. He touches the 5 of Colson. Next time by the stripe, there will be 5 fingers in the air, 5 laps to go. Do you think the 100 has any shot left in it, Paul?
I think the traffic there that screwed him just a little bit kind of did any chance. His only hope now is Tripp to get caught up by this 20 car. If not, it's Tripp's race to win.
No more cautions. XCAL will not throw a caution within 5 laps to go, so there will not be another yellow. This time by the flag stand, 4 laps to go. Tripp with about a 5/10 of a second lead over the 100 car. He got tight off that corner. The 100 car caught him by about a 10th that lap. Danny Ware doing everything he can to catch these leaders. Does the 20 car give way? No, he's going to be a problem for Tripp. 20 car gets in the way of Tripp off the corner now. Tripp gets underneath them, and Tripp will have the position. That time by the flag stand, there was 3 laps to go, and any shot that Danny Ware has of winning this race, he's just going to have to track down the 12 and bump him probably. Here they come. The 100 car is starting to make up some ground. Tripp gets a little loose off the corner. The 100 car catches up some more. 2 laps to go this time by. Tripp continues to show the fast way around. Ware driving the absolute wheels off that thing, just trying to catch him. This time by, the flagman has the white flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Kenny Tripp is going to drive it through 1 and 2. The lap car of John Schwartz shouldn't be an issue. Here comes Tripp off the corner. If he can get through 3 and 4 clean, it's his race to lose. Here he comes off of turn number 4, and Kenny Tripp wins in dominating fashion from Lanier, his first career XCAL feature event victory. Second place is going to be Danny Ware with a phenomenal run all night, and he's going to give a congratulatory door bump to Kenny Tripp. Third is Octavio Rondoletto. Fourth, James Seawright. Fifth, Jose Godino. Sixth, John Schwartz. Seventh, Heather Patrick. Eighth, John Kraft. Ninth, Ryan Soper. And 10th, Tyler Batchelder. Paul, this was really a great race, and what truly a treat it was to watch that 112-car duel there at the end.
That was absolutely amazing. I think that might be the best XCAL race since the tie from years ago. Just neck and neck. I mean, we were tied after some laps there. Just, what was it, 10-15 laps of just side-by-side racing. You don't see that anywhere on iRacing. That was incredible stuff. That was really, really good stuff. And mad props to Kenny Tripp for holding off Danny Ware. That was really, really good.
All right, well, we are going to try to catch up with our top 3 here. I'm just kind of waiting for them to get all lined up as Danny Ware and Kenny Tripp are in here. First, I need to talk to Octavio, though. I'll let you talk to Danny, Paul. I'll talk to third and first. As we
Sounds good. As the official flagship member of the Danny Ware fan club there.
All right, here we go. We got Octavio. And I'm keying up our third place finisher as I'm down here on pit road with Octavio. And Octavio, overall, pretty good run for you tonight. Kind of kept your car out of trouble. We're running right about third the whole race. Was that just the strategy for you tonight to keep your car out of trouble and keep it in a fairly good position?
Hello. I love strategy. I can with Danny and Kenny, but I love this race. I'm really happy for the third place, and I want to say congratulations for position 1 and position 2.
All right, well, Octavio, is there anyone you'd like to thank before I let you go catch up with your team?
I did an incident. I want to be. I want to finish in top for the next season too. And I don't know. I want to say thanks to the team, to the family.
All right, well, congratulations to you on a great podium finish, Octavia. We'll let you catch up with your team. As that kind of felt like that Talladega Nights interview with Rick and Bobby, where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. But we're going to move Danny Ware up here now. And Paul, I think you're down on pit road with Danny.
Danny Ware, first XCAL race, second place. First off, tell us how it feels.
Feels pretty good. It was my first time here. I haven't ran this league in a couple years, but I heard they started back up, so I decided to do the race.
Absolutely. I was kind of the charter member there of your fan club starting. You were actually my pick to win. Started 19th. Saw that you were running some spectacular laps in practice, and then you were able to methodically move your way up through the field. Got there in the top 5 or so, and then you were just kind of hanging back on the tail end of the lead lap there. Was that strategy just to kind of shake it out and let things come loose, or what was your strategy there once you got into the top 10?
It was more just letting all the lap cars figure out where they wanted to go because they were all bunched up, and I didn't want to risk it too early in the race and just try to keep a clean nose on it.
Sweet. Well, talk us through that epic battle there. I mean, that your battle there with Kenny, with on the last restart was, I think, probably one of the best XCAL races we've had ever since 2014. You were able to hold it on the outside for about good 15 laps. You led some, he led some, and then lap traffic kind of got in the way a little bit. But what was going through your mind there as you were battling out with him on the outside?
I was just hoping if I could either clear him on the outside or just hopefully it would be a drag race to the finish at the end. But the lap car ended up making it interesting and just fell the way it did.
Did you have any tire fall off or anything, or just when you were following him, or what was like kind of that once he got ahead?
Once he got ahead, I was just trying to push it up, trying to catch him as much as I can. The tires kind of stayed consistent the whole race, but overall, he had a better setup than I did.
Absolutely. Well, you're definitely going to come back for some more?
Yeah, most likely.
Fantastic. We were talking in the booth there. There's a guy that's kind of our Kyle Busch of the series, Luke Turpin, who took this week off, and I think the fans really want to see you go head-to-head with Turpin one time. So definitely make sure you come join us. Anybody you want to thank or give a shout-out to before we let you go?
Oh, well, I like to thank Kenny and his group for letting me hang out in their Discord and learn some stuff that they're doing. So that's about it.
Fantastic. Well, like I said, thank you for joining us tonight, and please come back and race with us again.
Thank you.
I'm going to send it up to Petey, who's got our winner, Kenny Tripp.
Yeah, I'm down here in Victory Lane. The champagne's flying all around, and I'm just catching up with Kenny now as he climbs out of the race car. And Kenny, what an epic battle you and Danny had there at the end of that last restart, man. You guys went about side by side for about 20 laps there at the end. What was going through your mind when you were racing there with Danny? Because it was pretty clear that whole race that you and Danny were the two cars to beat. Did you think that you were going to best him there at the end, or what were you thinking?
Honestly, my first reaction was the comfort. I raced a lot with Danny and at many tracks, and he's by far probably the cleanest driver I raced with. So I had no problems at all. Honestly, at that last pit stop, I had to pit. I only had about 30 laps of fuel left, and there was about 38 laps in the race, so I had no choice. I knew he had enough to go the way. So I pit, came back out, got lucky, got back up to second at the restart, and then was able to get by him. Caution came out, and then that last caution, when we got going again, I kept him on my outside, knowing that, hoping he can just bake them tires up, just burn the right rear up, hopefully. It's a tough task for him to do because he's so consistent, but I think he did get him hot. A couple lap cars helped me out, and was able to clinch it.
Well, you obviously had a great battle there with him. So the strategy in that race for you looked like keep the car on the lead lap and keep it clean. You're able to do that successfully. I wanted to talk to you a little about lap traffic, though. How much of a factor did lap traffic you feel like really play in that race? Because obviously the end it played a little factor between you two. But throughout the whole race, we had some good green luns, and you were running into lap traffic a lot. Did it really kind of throw a wrench in the strategy at times?
Well, the first run of the race, I told the guys, I said, hey, if we get a 10, 20 lap run in the first of the race, I have a great strategy. We talked about it, and that's exactly what happened. And it fell through. I mean, it went through. But however, the other two guys, they had drivetrain issues, so they had to park it. But the lap cars were definitely come into play. Even though they were in the garage, we were still talking on the radio. So yeah, the only thing I didn't understand is a lot of the restarts. A lot of lap cars were between the pace car and the leader. I'm not sure what the director was doing there, but I'll take it.
All right, and lastly, two more things I want to ask you. First, I want to ask, you've been running with XCAL for a little while now, but you've come close in a lot of feature events, a lot of good podium finishes, running up front, haven't closed the deal yet. You finally get yourself in a victory lane in one of these feature events. How's it feel?
It feels amazing. These guys in here, the qualifying that you guys put on, and it really gets the best of the best in here. And to finish the top 10 in a week with these guys in this competition is just it's very well done, and I commend you guys a lot. You guys put a lot of work in this, and we just get to come out here and have fun and bang fenders and win races.
All right, well, before I let you go celebrate more with your team, Kenny, who do you want to thank for sponsors, crew, teammates, anything like that before I let you off the hook?
I definitely gotta thank Patrick Sullivan, Bruce Helmuth, Tyler Gelbert, Tyler Batchelor, Brandon Varney. Actually, Danny Weir came on this weekend. Helped us out a lot. We helped him out a lot. I think that's going to be a future thing. And then for sponsors, I thank Ecolab, UNOH, Temp Setters, and we do have a full-time sponsor coming on board for the 21 season. It is the Maine Mobile Truck Service out of Auburn, Maine. They will be with us full-time next year, so I'm very excited about that.
All right, well, congratulations to you. We're going to let Kenny go catch up with his team. Paul, back up to you in the booth now. As what a race we had. I mean, that race really didn't have that many cautions. The one that we did were pretty well timed out in between each other. Really a fantastic XCAL event from Lanier this evening.
Absolutely. I think this was everything that was advertised. We talked about that before. What could Danny Weir do? And again, he did exactly what we thought he would do. He came up through the field and really battled it. Like I said, I think the only disappointment is, Noah Carpenter with his issues. If he wasn't 6 laps down with that short run thing, he could have been, made this a three-way fight and a great battle. But again, with Danny saying he's coming back, I'm looking forward to, whether it's next week or in the next couple of weeks, getting to see him go toe-to-toe with Luke Turpin. I think we finally got somebody who can give Turpin a run for his money.
Well, it's not cut Kenny's trip here short either. He's been running fast a lot of weeks too, and I think that trip is just getting faster and faster by the week. And I mean, we didn't even get to see Tyler Gelbert tonight because he had that drivetrain issue. But I think as the weeks continue to go on, we're going to see Luke Turpin winning less and less races. He'll still win some, but it's not just going to be a gimme every week,
Absolutely, no. I think they look forward to competition breeds, that, and I think that you're right. As we get and as we go into that 2021 season, you're right. I think Luke's still going to be the odds-on favorite. I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd still bet him to win the championship. But I think you're right. I think there's going to be 6, 7, 8 guys that are going to emerge as legit contenders to him. And any given weekend, anything could happen points-wise, and or tempers could get the worst of him again, and anything could happen. So you're right.
All right, well, that'll wrap up things here on Telesign TV. As always, I'm PDJ Zeller. Thank you so much for Paul Coleman Jr. joining me in the booth. Had a great time with Paul this week. Thank you to Tanner Kalin and everyone at Telesign TV for the fantastic job they do running the cameras and making the broadcasts happen. Thank you to Aaron Hillbush and everyone at XCAL Racing who makes these fantastic races possible. On behalf of myself, we will see you next week. Take it easy, folks.